I would first like you to introduce yourself any way you want for the audience to get to know you a little bit more, because they know you are an English teacher and a teacher trainer from the ad that I put up, but maybe those watching don't know that. So maybe you can say more about that as well, and whatever you're doing now.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Nina. First of all, it's an honor to be here, with you, speaking to all this lovely audience from Brno or from wherever they are. First and foremost, I think teaching is my passion. I love talking about stuff. I simply love talking. So if you leave me to any platform, I can speak nonstop, and for that reason, I believe I am also a good mom, because mom needs to speak a lot to their children.
Oh yeah, is anybody watching here a mom? Any moms here? Tell us how many kids you are. Is it true?
So yeah, it's true. I don't have one, I don't have two, but I have 7 children, and that is 7. Oops, 7. Yeah, and that has actually bring me to a different journey, whereby I've got to figure out how do I deal with my time. Of course, leaving time to myself too, which is, I believe, very important. And because of that, and that is the reason why I keep using technology in my work, so that I can manage a lot of things. 1001 things together.
Like all moms have to, but
like all moms
with 7 kids.
Exactly, multitasking all the time. But there are times where I need my space, my solitude, my thinking spot. So this is one of the room that I will be whenever I need, just a spot. I don't want anybody to interrupt my thinking. I will come to this room. This is actually a recording room, and do my own writing, sorting my thoughts and all, which I believe is so important. You need to spend time with yourself. So I'm a passionate teacher. I'm a passionate trainer. I love looking for new things, especially software, especially application apps, go to websites and check out things. And I believe we are currently living in a very, very fast world where a lot of things are available, but you really have to sort that out. You have to take time to learn, but it can be done. And simply by having internet is a bless in our life, I believe. Yeah.
Are there other people around you offline in real life who have the same mindset like you? Do you have a circle of friends who think in the same way, and maybe even more in our professional field? Do you know many other English teachers or educators who think in the same way?
Right. There are more now as compared to maybe 5-6 years ago when I started. I believe I started doing all this when I was in the UK, when I was in Nottingham, simply because I was like puzzled. How do these people manage their time? Because I was in the School of Education, and I saw one mother, doing so many things on the computer. And that was the time I was introduced to Skype. I was introduced to websites. I was introduced to so many things when I was in Nottingham, England. And I believe more teachers and more women educators, more students actually, are using technology right now and thinking that there should be a better way of doing things. Definitely. I mean, it just takes some guts or some bravery. You just have to be brave, especially when it comes to speaking, obviously, right?
That's it. I was just gonna say, it gives you so many more opportunities to practice speaking, but at the same time, you have to overcome that fear. But maybe for introverts, it's easier because they don't have to come to a pub with more people. They can just speak one-on-one with somebody, with a conversation speaker, or make friends from the other side of the world, like we did 10 years ago. Yeah.
Talking about that, I believe, Nina, personality is also another. Because my daughter was making remarks like, how do you manage to simply get connected to anyone online and talk to them? And, because she was referring about us, about me and Nina, she said, you know what, when you talk to Nina, you sound so lively, you sound so natural, and, you're being yourself. And then I told her, come to think of it, it's also about personality. So if you're a very quiet person, if you don't, you don't venture out of your comfort zone, and there's not much really. I believe that you really have to be brave and just, bring yourself to that level. Hey, I'm just going to send message to this person and let's see what happens. And I believe that is the starting point of everything. And I've been doing that, Nina. I've been contacting people on LinkedIn, contacting even, for my Microsoft work the other time. I was simply sending messages to the head of department in Microsoft Malaysia. And suddenly she replied and she said, can you come over and let's have some chat about
so
how you can.
That counts for everything, for jobs, for making friends, for having new conversation partners. And this is what my most successful students do. They overcome that fear. They step out of their comfort zone because, guys, that's the only place where magic happens. Truly.
True.
And really magic happens, because this magic between us wouldn't have happened if we, for example, didn't have the guts to learn more about technology, to Skype to each other's courses. This is something we will talk about in a bit. And also we actually ended up telling our story in front of a crowd of people at a conference. And that's the biggest thing, public speaking, fear of public speaking. You step out of your comfort zone. But when there are, and this is my point for this whole interview, when there are two or more people, when we are together, we can accomplish more. So absolutely, when you get together, you get in small groups, or you find a buddy, or you find a teacher, a conversation partner, somebody who supports you and motivates you, ideally inspires you as well to get better. That's a blessing for sure. But you can help that. You can help that process. That won't happen when you just sit and do nothing.
Exactly. And especially, can I mention one point? Please. Especially students think that they can simply learn grammar from a book, grammar book, and then expect to speak. No. I have been doing that for 15 years, 16 years, starting from the kindergarten. When we were given.
So how did you learn English? Please tell us, because English is not your mother tongue.
No, it's not my mother tongue. English is actually our second language in Malaysia, mostly spoken by people in the big city like Kuala Lumpur or Penang or Johor near Singapore, but not in my area. I'm actually from up north, which is near Thailand. My house is just a border to Thailand, so we don't speak English at all. So we were given thick books to read. Okay, today you read about present tense. I am going to school. She goes to school. And that's it.
Same here.
Yeah. And you're supposed to do grammar drills day after day after day. And we are not even allowed to speak in the classroom. Can you really imagine that? So I can't speak English until, hang on, I really need to think about this. I think until I go to university.
Wow.
Which is, Nina. And the reason why I wanted to become an English teacher is because I think this is wrong. Something has got to change. I really need to show how children can learn English better by speaking, by just making mistakes, by just not worry about all the grammar and all the spelling and all the 1001 things that you need to think about. Because otherwise your head will be thinking, oh, I'm making mistakes here, I'll stop. Oh no, I messed up this grammar rule here. No, I'll stop.
Same in the Czech Republic, and I believe all around the world. This is what I hear from colleagues from all around the world. This is still happening, the traditional way of a very strict way, like with a stick. Yeah, you make
Yeah.
a mistake. Do you guys
Yes,
know this from school? Yeah, do
we do
you
have that. We do have that.
at school
Whenever we make a
here?
mistake, yep, and the teacher will come and smack you.
Oh, we can't do
Yes,
that.
that was during my
That's
time,
corporal
not now.
punishment.
Yeah, not now, not now. Now things are changing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe more things should be done, like allowing children to explore apps on mobile phone, allowing children to speak in WhatsApp group, allowing children to just go out and present, in a school play, for example. So I believe in a lot of performing things.
And is that happening in Malaysia? Because that is happening here, not
It is.
everywhere, but so many more teachers are tired of the textbooks. And of course, they have to follow them if it's a public school or like a big chain of language schools where they just do have to use course books, but they are innovative and they are creative and they do their own thing, like what you mentioned.
Yeah, it is changing. However, I think because of the heavy focus on examination, whereby even if you can speak English, you don't really deserve that, high marks, because the marks for speaking is only 5%. That's not fair. out of 95,
and the rest is tests. The rest is tests. Okay.
So what does it say, about the focus of being able to speak as compared to being able to write or pass the exams? So
you personally, if you could change the education system, the language education system in Malaysia, what would you recommend the people who make the decisions?
I definitely would want to have, it's either having the same weightage for all the 4 skills, which is reading, writing, listening, speaking, have all similar weightage, or putting more weightage to speaking skills, maybe 60-40. So yeah, you need to speak more and then you perform, and we are graded on how you perform, how you speak, and then maybe 40% for writing. Of course, writing is still important, but you cannot make writing as if that's the main component in English, which is not, because in the workplace, you are supposed to be able to communicate. Writing is
That's wonderful. That's wonderful that you say that, because you are an academic. You have an academic background. You are an academic. You run several academic groups on Facebook as well. Big groups supporting PhD students, and coming from you. That's amazing. So you are a very innovative educator, I would say, in your area still, and I am as well. Although more and more people around me are being inspired by this, by teaching without any materials, basically, which was started by Scott Thornbury and Luke Meddings and the Dogma ELT that inspired me so very much. So if any teachers are watching us, any teachers watching, please type in here that you are a teacher. We'd love to know if there are more teachers watching us. And even if you're not a teacher, I don't see any comments here, but still I see some people watching live. So please tell us where you are from. Anyways, more and more people are doing this, but we still need to support each other. This is one of the reasons why I am doing these live interviews, public interviews with other teachers from around the world, and here from my team as well. And you are basically part of my team as well, because we've done several lessons, and you joined several of my courses. You were even here offline. Real you, Anita, was here in Brno. We'll talk about it in a bit. But I wanted to speak a little bit more about your experience in England, in Britain. Oh, Katie. Hi, Katie from Slovakia. So, yes, we actually visited Slovakia together with Anita in Bratislava. We did a conference in Bratislava 5.5 years ago. ELT Forum, you probably know it. Do you know ELT Forum, Katie? So hi to Slovakia. I'm sure you know ELT Forum. And back to you. Britain. How did you get to Britain from Malaysia? And it helped you with your English, I suppose. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I am a firm believer of law of attraction. Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you're very familiar with law of attraction, I've been meaning to go to England to study in England ever since I was, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, maybe, when I was watching TV and I was like, oh, this is a place that I would like to go. And I've been thinking about it ever since, and I do know that there are scholarships for students to study in England.
And why England? Why England?
Maybe because of the language, simply because I love the language and it's so far away.
And you wanted to go far away.
It's so far away from Malaysia. It will take about 14 hours of direct flight from Malaysia to England. And then my late father used to be, the person who loves libraries and books.
Oh.
And he said, okay, the only way for you to go, get this scholarship is for you to learn English, get yourself a scholarship and fly. And that's what, I believe I've been doing.
And you did it. You did it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it didn't come during my undergraduate years because that was not a good time. We don't have that many scholarship. But when I attempted for my PhD study, that happened. Oh my God, what a joy. And we went to the best place on earth, which is Nottingham, simply because it is too multicultural, Nina.
Wow.
I believe that all kinds of people are there. I believe that there are too many foods, too many cultures, too many things to see and explore. Yeah. And it's right in the middle. So whenever you come from north or south, Nottingham will be in the middle. And we enjoyed, I believe, 5 years of life there. And my children
your youngest daughter was born there, right?
Yes. And my number 7, Irene, was actually born in Nottingham. And that is actually a plant that I planted without my husband knowing. Yeah. That was my own plan. I said, nah, wait a minute. I'm not going to deliver her back here in Malaysia because I went there when I was already 4 months pregnant, but nobody knew about it. So now everybody know, oh no. So nobody knew that
Right.
I'm with the baby. So when I reached there, but my whole family cannot follow that time, because of the visa problem. So I had to wait. And after 6 months, they were able to join me. But imagine the kind of exposure that my children had when they were in Nottingham. And they learn English not the same way at all, like I did. They learn it differently. And I found that being immersed in the culture, when you are there and every day you just speak the language without even thinking about anything, is the best way for you to learn any language, not just English, any language. So if you want to learn Czech language, you have to go to Brno. Want to learn Korea, you have to go to...
I believe that you don't have to go anywhere if you surround yourself with enough resources, with lots of audio, and you have to speak a lot. But of course, it helps. It helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A visit. Yeah. Maybe just a visit. Yeah. To the place.
Yeah.
So I believe that's when the magic started. Yeah. It was in 2007. And can you remind me? Was that the time that we actually started working together? I believe.
2000. I believe we started. We met on Facebook, right, through a project that we were both part on in some group as teachers of English, and I believe this was in 2009, 2010, and then we met in 2011 for the first time in England because I was visiting my friends in Bristol with my family, and my daughter was 1.5, and she was born in 2009. So around that time.
Okay.
And then we started, so we can tell our story. We started Skyping, because you got, excuse me, I need to drink.
Sure, no worries. Yeah, Skype. Skype was really helpful. Yeah.
Yes, we started Skyping with other teachers as well. There was a group of teachers. We were part of a project called English Out There, which supports speaking and natural interaction in order to improve your English. And we were fascinated by that. So this project actually connected us, and we all believed in the same thing, that people can improve their English mainly through a lot of speaking practice and being immersed in the language. So we started Skyping into each other's classrooms. Remember in Istanbul? Yes, in Istanbul as well, and
Sylvia
in Ireland. Yes, and then I also met in person with Sylvia, and that was wonderful. And we started Skyping more into each other's classes after we met in person. I met your whole family, so all the 7 kids. You met my one.
Oh, that was the best picnic I've had. Honestly, Nina, that was the best one in Bristol, when we just put up, our scarves for. I remember that. Oh my God, that was the best.
Yes, we can share some pictures in the comments later. I'm happy to do that. And I still remember you brought me this amazing T-shirt with "I love English Brno" on it. That made me so happy, and that moved me so much. That moved me to tears. And that was an amazing meeting. I recommend it to everybody to make friends, at least make one online friend, and then meet them in person, because that doesn't have to be dating. It can be just making friends, and especially in your field. Especially in your field, because then really magic happens when we put our knowledge, our expertise, our hearts together, because then more magic happened. We started Skyping more seriously, let's say, into each other's classes. So that was fun in Malaysia. You remember? I was
Langkawi. Wow, yeah.
Langkawi, and then also to one of the universities.
Yeah, some of the students sang to you. I actually, I had it in my old hard disk, and I saw it 2 days ago. I said, "Oh my God, look at Nina, so happy." They were saying you singing Rasa Sayang or something, a classic song.
Yes. And you also joined several of my courses. I remember last time it was one of my kids' courses. I have some kids' courses running here as well. And your daughter joined us. Your daughter was there with us. That was exciting.
And you know what?
The kids communicated with each other.
Yes, they did. And in fact, one of the girl, I can't remember her name. Is it Adela?
Yes.
One of the girls actually contacted Irene on WhatsApp, and they have been talking, audio talking on WhatsApp.
That's
I have lost track. I have lost track of the conversation, because Irene was so excited. She said, "Wow, so far, Adela is so far in Brno, and yet she sounds so near on WhatsApp, the audio call on WhatsApp." And I believe, more children or more students of English should do that, because it feels funny at first to hear your own voice talking in a second language. But after a while, you feel that, hey, I can actually do this. I mean, it's not so difficult. I mean, I can plan what I want to say, and then I can, this is the tip for people who feel that, hey, I can't do impromptu. I cannot simply, say whatever I want. You can then try and use WhatsApp group or
WhatsApp group, or I will post in my big public group, Angličtina bez učebnic. I will post something for people who want to connect with each other, if they want to become each other's conversation partners. Just one tip, guys: don't have a conversation partner who is worse at English than you. They should always be better, or at least at the same level. Ideally better, ideally native speaker, obviously. But if you can't find a native speaker, an international speaker, so you don't feel the urge to or need to say things in your mother tongue, and then this helps so much. Many of my students have done this, have contacted people via there are so many apps these days. Hello Talk is one app, italki. There are so many apps and mobile apps where you don't even have to put the computer on. This is a big change in the past 5 years. Yeah, we have no excuse anymore, because we can listen to podcasts, we can speak to people, we can listen to music, we can watch movies, we can read, we can write to each other. All the skills, we can practice grammar, we can practice vocab. Everything can happen on our mobile phones. So no excuse, guys. I know overusing mobile phones can turn into addictions to social media or on the online world. So you have to watch your balance, absolutely. But that's everything. Yeah, that's the case with lots of other
that's this other way, Nina, if I can mention. Over here in Malaysia, very near my house, we have this international university. Yeah. So I do know some friends send their kids over there simply to interact with different nationalities in the world. So we've got people from Sudan, from Yemen, from all over the world coming over here simply to take short courses. And true, as you said, whenever you interact with people who do not know your first language, you don't have any reason to go back to your native language, right? You still have to speak English. So that's a good motivation, if you can find a group of international students or international people, then you will have
that's how I learned. That's how I practiced. Whenever I wasn't living, which wasn't so much, in the end, whenever I wasn't living in the US or the UK, where of course I did learn most of what I know now, when it comes to fluency and basically self-confidence as well. But this is where I kept and improved by keeping in touch, being always in contact, everyday contact with the international community, first at university, when I was at university, and then when I came back to, because I was studying outside of Brno in Olomouc, but then when I came back to Brno, I surrounded myself with the expat community, and I have so many wonderful friends in the expat community. Hopefully some of them will watch this as well. So hello to all my wonderful friends in the expat community. I hope that the expat community here is gonna get even bigger. The world is getting so globalized. Brno is becoming so cosmopolitan. It's fantastic. I honestly don't understand how the populistic politicians are thinking that we can go backwards and everybody will be like behind their own borders again. That's impossible. That can't happen. Everything is intercultural, interracial now. You have now, I know, a wonderful professional opportunity to go back to Europe and work in Europe as well. And it's completely normal for you, to live in different places. Even a mom of 7 with a small business, because you are also not just an educator, but also an entrepreneur. Your family has an small IT software, IT company. And so we can do all this and communicate with each other. That's why we are learning English, improving English, so that we can understand each other better and understand each other cultures better and everything, each other's background. So I really, really hope that the world can become a better place when people understand each other more in English. This is one of my big reasons why I am doing all this. First of all, to support women with their self-confidence and communication skills, but also to make the world a better place with better communication.
Yeah, can I add that point, Nina? I believe that a lot of misunderstanding happen because we do not understand each other, because you speak different languages. Yeah. Can you imagine if we all understand each other via the same language, which is, English? Everybody can speak English and everybody can explain, look, this is how I live. This is my culture. What about yours? Keep changing and exchanging. I believe there will be lesser conflicts and lesser problems, I believe. So far right now, I believe that we are not using the language in the right way, which means we are not using one point of communication to explain ourselves. And I found that in
Yes.
English, I found that it's so easy for me to explain, okay, look, this is the month of Ramadan where we fast, and this is what I do. And when you are able to explain, and people say, wow, that is so interesting. Can you tell me more? Okay, I can tell you more. So, the
I
kind of
am
thing
so happy I know you, because thanks to knowing you, I know so much more about your world, and I can understand it and more, and I can be more tolerant of
exactly.
the world and of other people, because I am tolerant of your culture and of your family situation, and we've been through things. Yes, this is not like
Yeah.
we've known each other for
It's
10
real.
years.
It's real and it's practical, right? It's real. And believe it, if we pass it to our children, what will happen to the world where children, when our children grows up and they don't understand each other? Wow, I can't imagine that. I
I
can't
am not
imagine.
worried about the kids, because I have been supporting in the past 2 years as well. I've been supporting kids more than before. I think it comes naturally because my daughter is 10 now, and she's learning more and more English. And I have so much hope in this generation. That the kids that I see, I really want to think positively about them using modern technology. I don't want to be the parent who says, "Oh, get off your phone. You cannot be on on your phone all the time." Of course, not all the time, but yes, this is the world we live in, and this is how they communicate. And when we speak to them about safety, of course, and all these things, and addiction to the online world, and all these things. And my school, for example, is doing a great job at that. They constantly invite experts who speak to kids about online security and online safety. So when you take good care of that, I believe that kids can learn so much just through technology. Yitka Talova, hi everybody, thanks for this call. Hi Yitka, where are you? Which city? I'm guessing you are in the Czech Republic or maybe Slovakia. Sometimes we don't know if it's a Czech name. So where are you, Yitka? And do you have any questions also? That would be really nice to start with questions right now. Do you also believe that kids can learn a lot, and you can learn a lot with the help of technology, without feeling like, oh, this is bad for me because I'm on my phone? Well, when you focus on learning English through your phone, it's good.
It's good.
No?
Nina, can I just say something to the ladies in Brno or nearby? You know what? The first impression that I got when I reached Brno, the women are so beautiful. Oh my God. Honestly, this is direct from my heart. And the way you sound, the way you speak, your language, I hope I can say more, but I only remember one, which is Dobry den. Oh my God.
Yes, you remember.
And I think that is the most beautiful language in the world, because it sounds so flowy and so, I don't know how to describe that language. I mean, your language, yeah? It's similar to the one that we have in Thai. Thai language, it's so flowy. They have music to it. So that's what your language sounds music to me. So I wish I can learn more.
Can you introduce yourself in Malay? Just say, I am Anita. I'm an English or whatever. You can translate for us after. So a little bit of Malay.
Okay, Malay is very easy to learn because we follow the sound. Yeah, so A is A, B is Ba. Okay, so nama saya Anita. Nama saya, my name. Yeah, nama saya Anita. Saya tinggal di Malaysia. I live in Malaysia. So saya means I. Saya, yeah. Tinggal, live. Okay, so Malay language is very easy. It's like Indonesian, very easy. But however, I find that your language is a bit more difficult because you have the characters, and the sound. So, but I love I love the sound of it. Can you say something in your language? Can you say something?
I can say, dobré ráno, jak se máš, jak pak ses vyspala. Good morning. How are you? Did you sleep well? But of course, it's afternoon in your, I'm thinking my context right now.
Okay. So
We
see
have,
how, yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
So we have Jitka saying Jitka is from Brno. That's great. Hi, Jitka, from Brno to Brno. And then we have Maria. Hi, friends. I'm hearing you and want to tell you big thanks for this call. Maria Detel-Bacherova. Hi, Maria. That's so nice. And where are you, Maria? Which city or which place are you at? And what about the others? Where are you? We have many more people watching at the moment. Please tell us where you are watching from. And do you have any questions for Anita? Because I believe she has a very interesting story, and she comes from a completely different continent, from very far away. 7 hours time difference. Yes, 7 hours. And me too. I'm also from Brno. Maria is also from Brno. So we have two ladies watching from Brno, one from Slovakia. The others are anonymous. Please, guys, tell us where you are. That would be really nice to know. And do you have any questions? In the meantime, I have a question for you. When are you coming back to the Czech Republic? Because last time when you were here, you had a lesson in a cafe with my students, 2 lessons maybe even, and you said I would be back. So when is that happening?
Okay, I'm telling you, yeah. And this is, I think no one is knowing this plan, right? So you're the first one. We are we are looking at September onwards, September 2020. Simply because Irene will have her major examination this year, which we feel that she should go on it. Yeah, so it's the major examination before you go on to secondary school. It's called primary school examination, sort of. So which will end in September. Okay, September 2020. And by that time, I hope me and my husband, we are already ready with all the preparation. So the relocation could be back in the UK or could be to Ireland, because I have been appointed as the representative for study in Ireland. Which I told him, you can actually be everywhere as long as you have internet with you, which literally means anywhere in the world, as long as you have good internet. So I'm really, really hoping if I'm back in the UK, it will definitely be Nottingham. If I'm back in Ireland, it could be Limerick, or it could be Dublin. Is a bit expensive, so we are thinking more, towards down south. So please, please, please pray for me and my family. We really, really hope that we can have that kind of life again, because we are looking forward for the camper van life.
Camper van. Okay, you don't want to be in one place anymore. And you want to travel around. That's amazing. So many more people are doing it these days, even with kids. Digital nomading. Yes, we spoke about that. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm following one lady. I'll tag your name to her. She's actually amazing. She has 2 boys and 1 girl with her. Amazing, 3 kids. And she has been traveling all over Europe. And I think she's from Scotland. And Dr. Olga, she's one of my, I used to do talks with her as well in my website. And she's been connecting with me, asking, Anita, what's going on? Why are you still in Malaysia? Why are you not here? And I said, please. So, this kind of people, you get energy from them when you listen to them and you follow their journey. And I believe that, I don't know, this year we are already 48, me and my husband. 2 more years and we are 50. That's not much, we are talking about time, yeah? So I'm thinking,
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I am 48 already. And my husband is all the way through with it. He said, yeah, okay, but let's just make sure that we need to sort out our banks, we need to sort out all things, so that it's not so difficult over there. So please, please, please pray that our plan will work. And definitely we will then visit Nina and all the lovely students, lovely friends in Brno. Definitely.
We have two more here from my group. Jana Kamenická, hi Jani, and Andrea Kvasnicová. She's not from Brno, but this is one of the ladies who's happy that I'm doing an online course now because she can join me. And she's been improving with me since August. We started in August, and the ladies are amazing in this group. Wow. I call it a VIP club for ladies. Yeah.
Yes.
Maria, yes, it's okay that you came later. You can watch the recording of this because the interview will stay here forever until Facebook is alive. Well, we never know what happens in the future, but I'll also download this interview and put it up on YouTube so you can share it. I don't see any questions here at the moment, so I would maybe wrap up. Before I ask my final question, do you have any questions for me, Anita?
Yes, I do, Nina. I do. I think you're doing a great job managing, the online interaction, yeah? But how do you actually manage, like multiple interaction with the students, and then you plan for your work? I mean, you plan for the videos, and because it's hard work. I do know it requires a lot of preparation. Do you actually have the whole plan, or do you actually... I don't know. How do you do it? Is it just fluid, or you have your plan? Yeah. So that's what I've been wondering. How do you actually... Yeah.
Thanks. That's a really nice question. That's a big question, but I'll try to answer shortly. I always have a frame. Yeah. I have a plan for half a year ahead, or a little bit more right now until the end of August, basically, and which is the rest of the school year. And I have a plan. I have new courses, new ideas, so I try to implement it. I always love to mind map. I'm a big mind mapper, so I mind map, and that helps me a lot because that gives me a frame of what I really want to do this year, not only in my professional life but also in my personal life. We were just sharing that with my mastermind group of other female entrepreneurs 2 days ago, how we want this year to be and how we are planning social media presence, and they are also preparing online courses. So getting a lot of support and sharing that with other people, with your closest family and friends, and having a mastermind as well helps a lot to stay disciplined and to get new ideas and hack some ways, of course. The peer pressure, I always say peer pressure is very good for your discipline. I always speak about that with my students. When you have a goal, share it with other people. Put it on the fridge in your house, or tell your friends on Facebook that you're working on improving your English. And then when I have this frame, of course, I have smaller tasks for the month and the week and the day. I am using I'm using a board where I write my to-do list for the week and for the day, of course. But this sounds crazy, but I think every entrepreneur has to do this. Every freelancer has to plan well to have the system ready and the processes, because then when you have that ready, you can improvise, you can play, you can have fun, you can be spontaneous, you can be less stressed, because this is at least how I work. You know what you're doing, you know what your goal is, and you can dance your way to it. I believe that, especially as women, we enjoy the process much more than the result. So
that's true. That's true.
I will teach you this.
Yes, thank you.
Is the
thank
goal.
you. Yeah, because I believe,
Cesta je cíl. That's a really nice saying in Czech. The journey is the goal. So I'll write it later for you.
Wow, thank you so much. And my everyday is actually bunk with that, managing the 79,000 members of academics. Oh my God. And they're getting bigger and bigger, and the demands and requests are more and more. So that's why I want to know, because the way I do it, yeah, I do have the plan, I do have the framework, but there are days that I can't do anything else rather than just look at the interaction in the group, because there'll be requests for workshops and a request for softwares and all that. So I'm thinking, is there a better way of doing things? And I believe yours may help me in order to enjoy the process. As you say, we are doing this because we want to enjoy, and we want to, we want to have time.
I think it starts, my beloved Simon Sinek says, starts with a why. This is where I start with my work, my personal life, and this is how I work with my students when I coach them. You have to start with a why.
Yep.
So this is why I am so big on language goals and starting with a lot of deep questions for your motivation, why you are learning, why you want to improve your speaking skills, your listening skills, why you want to write better, what it actually means for you, because it means different things for different people. So your why is a completely different why than mine. Then you apply different strategies, but you always need a strategy. So that's the second step. You need to take some action, and you need to have a plan. So when we work in my courses on improving English, which is your goal, we need to break it down to lots of little whys, and then put a strategy for every single why, and then the most important thing, take everyday steps. And that's where lots of us fail, of course, and I fail every single day in
the
several things. Of course, nobody's perfect. And I believe we are perfect in our imperfections. Ladies, please pat yourself on your back. You are all amazing, and you're doing your best. First of all, because you're here watching us and you can understand at least some of it. Like Maria says, I maybe didn't catch everything, but that's fine. Keep going, even if you understand only 20% at the beginning, even if you know what you're doing, if you don't know really what you're doing, start thinking of why, and then put a strategy behind it and take those steps. Right now, this is such a good question that you gave me. Right now, I wanted to have a better strategy for my social media, this page, Anita English page, my group, my big Facebook group, Angliština bez učebnic, but also my paid group and Instagram and LinkedIn. So I stole a few color papers from my daughter's art box, and I cut lots of them into small pieces, and I started planning with colors. People, I like offline stuff. I like to hold stuff, but some people use different systems, on their computers. So you can have project planning systems. I always prefer, and that's what I tell my students, when you really want to learn something, take a pen and paper and write it. So I just like to the connection between your brain and the hand, and putting things on paper and seeing it visibly. There's some magic behind it.
I'm so similar. I'm like you. I need pen and papers, and colorful notes as well.
What about you?
Thank you.
What about you people? Do you prefer mobile phones and apps and computer? Like, do you mind map, for example? If you mind map, do you do it with a pen and paper or the computer? Because if I don't do it on a piece of paper, I lose some kind of creativity in the process, I feel, because of the movement of my hand, for example.
Wow.
Okay, so my question for you, my last question for you, what would be your best tips for those who are watching us and want to improve English this year? it's really their big dream to finally improve their English wherever they are starting now, whether it's like lower level or even higher level, but they want to improve.
Okay.
Except for why, as we just mentioned, what would you recommend to the students?
I'm going to go back to the last 20 years, when I started really serious about improving my English, because I know that I'm going to become an English teacher, and I know that I'm going to travel, and I want people to understand me. So that's my big why. So I want to travel the world, and I want to speak the language that people can understand. So
but what if people have much smaller ambitions?
Right. Okay. So let's say you want to
so they can relate to you.
Okay. Let's say they just want to say, okay, this year, 2020, I'm going to speak better English. Is that yeah?
That's a very general one, yeah. But yes, I want to maybe get a better job, yeah, or
a better job, yeah. So
or be promoted at work, or
exactly
want to finally travel without my friends and manage myself, yeah.
Okay, so for getting better at jobs, that is the most common reason why a Malaysian do it for English, getting better at jobs. So what I normally do is, the first thing, I always have pen and paper with me, short notepad, because when I hear people, and I will be in the environment of English speaking, the place will be people who speak English. For example, if I go to McDonald's, if I go to anywhere around Kuala Lumpur, definitely there'll be people speaking English, and I'll pick up the way they interact, especially if you have native speaker there. And I know one place where there are a lot of expat community, having coffees, and I will just sit down in one corner and I listen to their conversation. Okay, and then I kind of, okay, what is this guy saying? Do you want to come? For example, do you want to come? Let's have coffee. So I'll just jot down in my notebook, because you don't get that conversation bits in grammar language, because in the book they will say, would you like to come and have coffee with me?
Right.
Nobody speaks like that in the real world.
That's exactly why we're doing what we're doing here. Meeting people, going out, doing normal things.
Yes. So for me, that will make you feel, hey, this is, I can do this. I can hear, I can jot down, and I speak. Of course, the third part is where you will spend a lot of time, where trying to find someone to practice the language with, which is the funny thing that I did. If you can ever believe, I will always stay in the area where there are a lot of tourists. And in Kuala Lumpur, there you will find a lot of lost tourists. And you say, excuse me, sir, are you looking for your direction? Oh my God, I did that, Nina. Yeah, that was, I don't know, 10, 20, 15 years. And these guys...
Ladies, this is how you do it. You are not afraid.
And I am sure in Brno, there are spots like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Americans everywhere. So, if it's not about direction, just go, good morning, sir. What lovely weather we have today. I don't know.
We actually do this in our courses. Sometimes we send the students out into the streets when we have a lesson in the center. Yeah. So, for example, we sit in a cafe and we send the students out, and they have some tasks and they have to speak to people. Of course, they mostly run into Czech people, but they speak in English. They pretend that they're not Czech, and that, like, you can do that too. Just have fun with it.
True. And then the other place I love to go is airports, obviously.
Right.
Airports. Right. So I'll go to the airports and just act like I'm going somewhere, but I'm just sitting there, looking at whoever look a bit lonely. Then I'll go and chat up. So is this your first time?
You really went out of your way. And this is how you you accomplished what you have accomplished.
Yeah.
And living in England, doing a PhD course, now working for Microsoft. Amazing.
And do you know what? The first time that you did that, your heart will be beating so fast, like doom, 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 doom. I don't know what I want to say, but I'm just going to say it. And it happened maybe like 4 or 5 times after that. But after the 5th time, maybe you feel, hey, I can actually do this. This
Practice
is natural.
Makes perfect.
Yes. And
the
believe
first time
me,
is horrible, but
yeah, believe me, the person that you're talking to will be so accommodating, will want to speak to you and say, thank you so much for your help. I've been wanting to ask people, but I don't know who. So crack a conversation with anyone that you meet, especially in English, if you meet any, English
yes,
speakers.
yes,
So
yes.
that's it. Wrapping
Yeah.
up for the day.
And also come and write comments
Yes.
in English. I would say
Yes.
whatever your passion, whatever your interest, whatever
Yeah.
your hobby is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really believe in adults having like hobbies, but if you're younger, what your hobby is,
Yeah.
like you love horse riding or knitting or cooking or
Yeah.
fashion or leadership or marketing, whatever your passion is, go and look for the topics in English on blogs, social media.
Sure.
Get connected to different groups and start being active, because without you doing something for the result, nothing will happen
Nothing will
without
happen.
that. Yes. Yeah. So Anita, 1 hour 5 minutes, we did it. Amazing.
Wow. Thank you.
Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say before we finish?
Meet me in Brno. Meet me in Brno 2020. Well, we are going to make it. We are going to make it. Yeah.
Amazing. That I'll stick to that, and I'll remind you. Peer pressure. Now you told everybody.
Okay.
This we will check up on you. We will ask you, and I want you here by the end of the year, the latest, and you can come into our courses and spread more love. Maria says, "Dear Nina, I really like your modern, fantastic way to do my English skills better." Oh, amazing! Please, if you're from anywhere here, join us in Brno, or you can join whatever activities I have. It's absolutely affordable, and it will really make your speaking skills better. Katie, language cafes are also a great way how to practice your English. Absolutely, yes. We have English meetings here in Brno, many different groups, couchsurfing group, English in Brno, Angličtina v Brně group, so many others, a knitting group. I know in Slovakia, in Bratislava, Litka Machová, jazykový mentoring, she does these language cafes, and other people do that. I don't know around other places in Slovakia, but I know about Bratislava. Jitka, thanks a lot and have a nice day and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Have a wonderful day, Jitka, as well. Andrejkov, hi to Příbram. You did it. You were here. I'm very happy to see you here. And Jancha and Katie, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for joining us. Mainly ladies, but I am guessing not just women are going to watch this. So that's why I say guys. That means everyone. And this was my first at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So now I'm going to finally make pancakes for us, late breakfast, or rather brunch, I'd say, because I was setting everything up here in the morning. And I'll see you in Brno, and I'll see you soon, everybody, with a new interview, with another interview with another teacher, either from my team or from one of my colleagues, international colleagues from around the world. Because I believe when we talk about learning English without course books, with different people, we can spread this around the world, and people can gain confidence that this is also possible.
Yeah.
So, bye everybody. Thank you for joining, and
have a great Sunday, everyone. Have a great Sunday.
Have a great Sunday, whatever day you're watching. Bye.